So today's project is going to be doing an update on my sled here. The ribbons and everything look a little on the tired outside, so I'm going to go ahead and change all that out. I'm going to leave the ice skates, and of course I won't do anything to the rest of this sled. But we're going to take this stuff off. We're going to put on new ribbons, new garlands, and some ornaments, and make it all look pretty again. So stay tuned. So here it is once I got all of the other embellishments off of it. So I'm going to get started by finding some greenery, decide on ribbons, and what other things I want to put in here. This sled is pretty much going to be all Dollar Tree items. I picked up some mesh tubing in red and green. I got 2 of their Christmas trees, some wired garland ties. Usually you use these for maybe putting your garland, strapping it to your railings or something like that. And some really pretty Christmas ornaments, and then some snowflakes. I got 3 of those. I think the only thing that may not end up being Dollar Tree is I'm gonna find a ribbon that I've been kind of using throughout my home for this season. So let me get everything together and we'll start creating. First thing we're gonna do is open the Christmas trees. And I'm going to create a garland out of these. And we are not going to need the rest of these. So I'm going to just set those aside. Might be able to come up with something to do with them later. In another project. Same for this. Now, I'm going to remove these 2 pieces here. And I'm going to turn on the hot glue gun, and we're going to fluff these up. And everything can go basically to the front. And we'll be covering some of this with ornaments and things too, so I'm not too worried about seeing the inside part. Okay, bring everything up front so that this is more flat. Okay, now we're gonna do the same thing with the other one. Okay, just about there. Okay, so now that we have all the garland branches moved forward, we are going to attach them just like this, okay? So I'm gonna use one of these garland ties. I'll probably actually use more than one. We'll use a couple. I'm going to turn this over here so I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to take one and put it through here. And I'm going to kind of weave it in and out, getting it tight. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to bring it up so I can make sure that this end is attached nicely too. Okay. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay. And we can throw in some hot glue here as soon as the glue gun gets warmed up. But here is the basis for our garland for our sled. I'm going to rearrange these a little bit. The other thing we can do too, if it seems a bit sparse, is we can take these and wind them in there and use them as well to make the garland look more full. This really has a lot more branches on it than I expected. These things sell out pretty quickly. I was lucky enough to grab a couple before Thanksgiving. Okay, so now that we've got this set, I think I'm gonna just put one more of these in here, just to make sure we're good. Like right here in the middle. Got them tied nice and tight. I think there's a little bit more stability in here. Plus we're gonna be attaching this with wire ties or the garland ties as well to our sled. Okay, so there we go. Now we're gonna take our ornaments. I'm gonna grab some jute up here. I keep it in this cute little container here so I can pull it out as I need it. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna tie clusters of ornaments together. Let me show you what I mean. We're gonna put these together. I'm gonna do a set of 2 here as well. And then I'll open up the other package and do the same thing. Okay, get this one open. More jute. Okay, pretty simple. I know I have more jute here than I need, but that's okay. Makes it easier to attach them. And we'll do this again with one more. With the other 2 ornaments. These are actually very pretty. All right. I do have a couple more ornaments here. Let me grab them. I have got some red colored picks, and I also have 2 more really pretty ornaments. All these are from the Dollar Tree. So I've got this really pretty ribbon here that the Celebrate It brand, I believe, is from Michael's. And this is just your regular deco mesh. And it's probably from Hobby Lobby. You can buy it at the Dollar Tree as well. I'm gonna wait for my glue gun here. And I think I'm gonna cut these little pieces off of here. And I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit of jute on here so that it's easier to work with. Okay, one more. So I'm going to take and wind my white deco mesh in through here. And this stuff sticks to everything. So I'm just gonna kind of create a background here. And I'm just gonna twist it. See what I mean? It catches on everything. And we're gonna leave some big loops. Just kind of wrap it like once or twice. Let it do its own thing here. So, now that I have a little bit of a background, I am going to take my ornaments and I'm going to start tying them in. Give it a little knot. I'm not going to cut it yet in case I decide I want to move it. And let's do over here somewhere. And let's see. That out of it. I'm gonna tie this last one over here. I'm just trying to make sure that they're on. Once we get everything situated the way we want it, I can go back and glue in where I've set them. Okay, I'm going to make this a small loop here. All right, starting to come together. Now, these do have holes in them. Let me see if I can get one of these through here. That's being pretty hopeful, but hey, let's try it here. Ooh, look at that. Okay. Now I want him to stand up, if I can make that happen. And pull these to the front. Great. So now that kind of hides where the snowflake is attached. And I think that looks really nice. So the second one, I think maybe we'll just attach them together and we'll do it that way. So I'm going to just push it in through here. All right. So now we've got this. We can fluff a little bit. And let's see if we want to use the third one here. Oh yeah, I think so. All right. I'm gonna set him right in here. Okay. Now I can actually put my bow in here if I wanted to. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to make some ribbon curls. I'm going to make a little bit of a background for my bow. And all we're going to do is take these and I'm going to drop them. And all I'm going to do is go back and forth like this. And I think that's pretty good for this first one because I'm going to wind it. Oh, hang on, let's tie this first. Okay. And there we have it. So now I can take and twist that in there and have some more color. Let's see, let's get some ties here. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. Then now I'm going to tie it. Okay, and then I'm going to find a place to put this one. And I think we'll do one more. We have 1, 2. Let's put this one over here somewhere. Okay. Now, I think I'm going to cut these, and then I'm going to put a little bit of glue on here. Just to help hold them in case while it's outside, it gets in the wind. Okay, let that dry for just a second. Fluff this up a little bit when we're done. Make sure everything is facing forward. And then, while that's drying, I think I'm going to start a bow. And I think I'm gonna do just a cute long tail on this one. Okay, a wire. And I don't know if this is as long as I'll be leaving it, but I'm going to dovetail it now anyway. Just gives a nice finished look to your project. All right, so I'm going to be adding more ribbon to this, so it's not finished. I'm going to take my ends of my wire and I'm going to poke them through right here. This would work perfectly also on a lantern, which is going to be my next project. Now I could have used a pipe cleaner on this as well. And now I'm going to use some more of the mesh tubing, and I'm going to create a pretty big loopy bow. Get a lot of this for $1. And now I'm going to grab some longer tails and I'm going to tie this. Loosen up fairly easily, so I'm going to make sure I've got a good knot on that. I'm going to use our cedar picks. Put a little bit more dimension in here. We'll attach a little bit more of the white mesh. So I want it to have a bit of a longer tail. And this is simple. Just find two of the little branches here and just tie it in. Done. This one has a nice tail. That works out really well. Looks real pretty. I've got my ornaments pushed to the front. This is nice and full. What I'm going to do is just cut these pieces right here. And then we're just going to hot glue them in. A little bit of glue. randomly find a place to put them. There's 5 pieces in one package, which that's a pretty good bargain because you don't get that at Hobby Lobby. Granted, these aren't as thick as Hobby Lobby's, but okay. Get it to stick to something there. Oh, I like this. And okay, and then one more. Okay. I'm going to use some Dollar Tree pipe cleaners. And I had already had these pretty short to start with because I was using them for a different project. So all we have to do is pinch, and I'm going to turn this one around. So the reason for that is so that I have pretty at both ends. Twist. Okay. And then now, find an empty spot here that could use a bow or a ribbon, and twist. When you're dovetailing, you're going to go from outside to in, making sure you're creating a V. See how pretty that looks? Let's make a couple more. All right, so we have one there. Okay, push those out a little bit. And then I think what I'm going to do is make my tails. Ooh. Down to the last of my ribbons. So I'm going to grab my sled, and we're going to use a couple of these garland ties so that we can attach this. So let me grab my sled. I've just got it leaning up against here, but look at this. Is that just not gorgeous? I'm just making a twist. Here's my ribbon. I'm making a twist all the way around. I'm going to grab my pipe cleaner. Okay, so I was able to add my 2 other ribbons inside. All Dollar Tree items except for this ribbon. So I'm going to grab my loops here. And then like now. Fluff everybody up. All right, I'm going to put this in the other room where it's up against a white wall, and we'll look at it then. Come with me, I can't wait to show it to you. It is freezing out here. And I found this cute little sign that I had hanging around that just says in this house we believe in Santa. Thought it was kind of a cute addition.
Well, I sure hope you liked this project. I think it was a lot of fun to make, and in the end it probably wasn't $10. Even the sign was from the Dollar Tree. So stay tuned for my next video. We're going to be redoing a lantern that'll match this for my front porch. we're going to have some fun.